Hey sports enthusiasts! Welcome back to Sports Science Updates, where we dive deep into the latest sports science research. Are you curious about which workout routines could alleviate patellofemoral pain, a prevalent knee issue that affects between 6% to 7% of adolescents and up to 13% of young adults? It's a challenging condition that, for more than half of sufferers, persists for up to 5 to 8 years, often leading to regular painkiller use, reduced physical activity, and reduced quality of life. There are recommendations from recent reviews and network meta-analyses for exercise therapy, particularly exercises focusing on the hip, the knee, or both, to alleviate pain and improve function in individuals with patellofemoral pain. However, uncertainties remain about what specific types of exercises are most effective. Despite a recent consensus document suggesting the inclusion of hip exercises in treatment plans, directive exercise protocols are limited. They often have short intervention and follow-up periods, and insufficient sample sizes to detect clinically relevant differences in outcomes. This results in a challenge when determining the most effective treatment, and may explain the variation in clinical practice. Thus, the purpose of this particular study was to gauge the effectiveness equivalence between a quadriceps exercise protocol and a hip exercise protocol in relieving symptoms and improving function in patients with patellofemoral pain. The research methods were quite straightforward. Patients with a clinical diagnosis of patellofemoral pain were included in the trial. 200 participants were enrolled in this trial. They were then randomly assigned to either the quadriceps-focused exercise program or the hip-focused exercise program. Half of them, 100 participants, were assigned to the quadriceps exercise program, and the other half to the hip exercise program. The mean age of the participants was 27 years, with 69% of them being women. The primary outcome the researchers looked for was the change in the Anterior Knee Pain Scale from the beginning of the program to the 12-week follow-up. An equivalence margin of plus or minus 8 points on the Anterior Knee Pain Scale was chosen to demonstrate comparable effectiveness. The results of the trial were quite interesting. The mean changes in the Anterior Knee Pain Scale were 7.6 for the quadriceps exercise group, and 7.0 for the hip exercise group. This difference of 0.6 points was within the predefined equivalence margin, although it's worth noting that neither program surpassed the minimal clinically important change threshold. Furthermore, none of the group differences in key secondary outcomes like pain, physical function, and knee-related quality of life exceeded the predefined equivalence margins. So, what does this all mean for patients with patellofemoral pain? The conclusion drawn from the study is that both the 12-week quadriceps-focused and hip-focused exercise programs provided equivalent improvements in symptoms and function for these patients. This means that whether a patient decides to focus on quadriceps exercises or hip exercises, they can expect similar levels of relief from their patellofemoral pain. In light of the research findings, it's clear that both quadriceps and hip exercises hold equal merit as treatments for patients suffering from patellofemoral pain. However, it's important to acknowledge that the improvements observed did not meet the established threshold for minimum clinically important change. This suggests that focusing solely on either quadriceps or hip exercises may not be the most effective approach to improving symptoms and function. This conclusion aligns with the latest consensus document, which recommends a combined approach of quadriceps and hip exercises. It's a vital reminder for therapists to employ their clinical reasoning and consider patient preferences when designing an individualized exercise rehabilitation program. This approach of shared decision-making not only increases healthcare efficiency, but is also recommended in the rehabilitation of patients with patellofemoral pain. Therefore, while the study provides noteworthy insights, it also highlights the need for further research to establish the most effective approach to managing patellofemoral pain. And there you have it, folks. Another exciting journey into the realm of sports science and rehabilitation. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Sports Science Updates, leave your thoughts in the comments below, and share with others. Until next time, stay active, stay informed, and keep pushing your limits.